In the heart of Cleveland, Ohio, stood a home that blended into the neighborhood. A place with rusted fences, broken windows, and unimaginable secrets inside. Between 2007 and 2009, 11 women vanished, all poor, all vulnerable, all forgotten. Their remains would be found in one man's house. This is the horrifying story of Anthony Sowell, known to the world as the Cleveland Strangler. Anthony Edward Sowell was born on August 19, 1959, in East Cleveland, Ohio. His early life was anything but ordinary. He grew up in a chaotic home, raised by a single mother alongside his 6 siblings. When his mother passed, an aunt took over the household, bringing her 7 children with her. Violence was common. Sowell later described being whipped with electrical cords, watching family members be beaten. It was a home built on pain, rage, and silence. The seeds of a predator were being sown. In 1978, at just 19, Sowell joined the United States Marine Corps. He served as an electrician for 7 years, stationed in California, Japan, and North Carolina. He was discharged in 1985, honorably, but with dark tendencies simmering beneath the surface. Back in Cleveland, he settled into life in a 2-story house at 12205 Imperial Avenue. But just 4 years after returning, in 1989, Sowell committed a brutal crime. He lured a woman into his home, tied her up, choked. She managed to escape and call the police. He was convicted of attempted murder and other unimaginable acts and served 15 years in prison. He was released in 2005. But Anthony Sowell wasn't rehabilitated. He was patient, quiet, calculating. Between 2007 and 2009, women began to disappear, mostly black women struggling with addiction, homelessness, or mental health issues. People noticed, but few paid attention. Neighbors on Imperial Avenue often complained of a foul odor, a stench that drifted through the street, especially in summer. The city blamed a nearby sausage factory. They were wrong. Sowell invited women to his house, offering drugs or alcohol. Once inside, he strangled them, then he left the bodies to rot, on the floor, in crawlspaces, buried in the basement, or hidden in the backyard. He lived among the corpses, for years. On October 29, 2009, a woman named Latundra Billups told police she had been assaulted and nearly killed by Sowell. Police issued a search warrant. What they found was worse than anyone imagined. Inside the home, police discovered 2 rotting bodies. The backyard revealed shallow graves. The attic. The basement. More bodies. 11 women. All murdered. Some had been missing for years. The press called him the Cleveland Strangler. The community called it a failure of the system. How could so many women disappear? So many complaints be filed. So many bodies accumulate. And no one noticed. At his trial, the victims' families wept, screamed, and confronted the man who had stolen their daughters, sisters, and mothers. The names of his victims became symbols of Cleveland's forgotten. On July 22, 2011, Anthony Sowell was convicted on 82 counts, including murder, kidnapping, and abuse of a corpse. He was sentenced to death. But he never made it to the execution chamber. On February 8, 2021, Anthony Sowell died in prison from a terminal illness. He died peacefully, unlike his victims. Reflection, somber piano returns softly. The case of Anthony Sowell is more than just a story of a serial killer. It's a story about neglect. About how society ignored black women from impoverished neighborhoods. About how addiction, poverty, and race can render people invisible. And how a predator thrived because no one listened, until it was too late. Today, the house on Imperial Avenue is gone, demolished in 2011. But the scars remain. We must remember the names of the victims. We must demand better for the voiceless. Because silence kills. Thank you for watching the Cleveland Strangler, the Anthony Sowell story. If this documentary impacted you, please subscribe, comment, and share to keep the memory of the victims alive. Stay aware. Stay informed. And always, trust your instincts.